Across deserts, buried cities, and windswept plateaus, the ancient world whispers of beings lost to time, beings of impossible size. Not just legend, not just metaphor, but physical traces etched into stone, carved into architecture, and immortalized in myth. Could giants have once walked the earth? Or are these signs misread, mismeasured echoes of something else entirely? We begin in the ancient land of Syria, specifically the forgotten village of Ain Dara. In 1955, a Syrian farmer stumbled upon something odd while digging in his fields. Buried under centuries of dust and olive groves, his shovel struck stone. But it wasn't just any stone. It was a massive sculpture of a lion. This discovery led archaeologists to unearth a monumental structure, the Ain Dara Temple, built around 1300 BCE. What they uncovered would shake biblical scholars to their core. The temple's design mirrored the fabled Temple of Solomon described in the Hebrew Bible. It had the same three-room layout, the same towering staircases, the same sacred inner sanctum known as the Holy of Holies, a place only the high priest could enter, where the divine presence was believed to reside. But the most startling feature wasn't its resemblance to a lost temple, it was what lay just beyond the entrance. Carved into the basalt stone were three enormous footprints. Each one was over 3 feet long, far beyond the size of any human. The first sat just inside the threshold, the second appeared 30 feet deeper into the temple, and the third? It rested right before the inner sanctuary. No ordinary being could make that stride. Not a man, not a beast, not even a god in symbolic form, some would argue. Were these footprints symbolic, carved to represent the invisible passage of a deity like Baal, the storm god? Or perhaps Ishtar, the goddess of lions, war, and fertility? Some ancient cultures did leave symbolic tracks in their temples, meant to show a divine being entering the sacred space. But 3 massive footprints, each leading deeper into the most sacred heart of the structure. Others look to the Bible for answers. In the book of Genesis, there's a quiet line, easily missed, yet deeply unsettling. There were giants in the earth in those days, and also after that. These giants were called the Nephilim, born of the union between the sons of God and the daughters of men, part mortal, part divine. Could the Ain Dara footprints be a preserved memory of such beings? Whatever the truth, the temple, its stones, its secrets, its silent footprints, wouldn't remain intact. In 2018, a Turkish airstrike destroyed much of the site. All that remains now are photographs, and those impossible impressions, carved deep into stone. But Ain Dara is just the first clue. Hundreds of miles away in southern Israel, another ancient city holds its own secrets. Gath, the legendary hometown of one of history's most famous giants, Goliath. For years, archaeologists worked at the dusty mound of Tel Es-Safi, believing it to be the site of ancient Gath. There were hints, artifacts, pottery, architectural fragments, but no solid proof, until 2015. That year, an excavation team uncovered a colossal gate, one of the largest ever found in the region, 13 feet thick, constructed from stones over 6 feet wide. A gateway to a city that, at its height, spanned over 100 acres, more than twice the size of Jerusalem during the same era. The city's scale was intimidating. Walls of mud brick stood perfectly plastered. There were signs of industry, iron smelting facilities, defensive complexes, and layers of ash that hinted at warfare and siege. It was a place built for battle, and it matched the time period of David and Goliath, around the 11th century BCE. Here's where it gets stranger. The Bible describes Goliath as standing 6 cubits in a span, roughly 9 feet 9 inches tall. But one archaeologist, Jeffrey Chadwick, has proposed something fascinating, that Goliath's height wasn't biological, but architectural, that the number described the height of the gate's walls, not the man himself. In this view, Goliath may not have been a literal giant, but a symbol of Gath's strength, its impenetrable defenses, its towering presence. And yet, pottery found nearby bears 2 names, Ult and Wult. Both are strikingly similar to Goliath or Goliath in Hebrew. So maybe the name was real, even if the stature was exaggerated. Or maybe both were true. The city of Gath was eventually destroyed in 830 BCE by King Hazael of Aram. The walls collapsed. The gates fell. The giant, whatever form he took, was lost to time. But the ancient world offers more than footprints and gates. Sometimes it offers something even more intimate, a bed. According to Deuteronomy, King Og of Bashan was the last of the Rephaim, giants that terrified the Israelites. His kingdom, made of 60 fortified cities, sprawled across what is now southern Syria and northern Jordan. When Moses led his people into the region, they fought Og and defeated him. But one thing remained: his bed of iron, described in the Bible as being 13 feet long and 6 feet wide. For centuries it was thought to be myth. Then, in 1918, archaeologist Gustav Dahlmann discovered a massive dolmen tomb near the ancient city of Rabbah. The tomb's stone slab was the same size as Og's legendary bed. A coincidence? Or evidence? There are thousands of dolmens scattered across the region. These megalithic tombs date back to the 3rd millennium BCE and are among the largest in the world. Some capstones weigh over 50 tons. Many chambers are large enough to hold multiple full-grown men. No one knows exactly who built them. Some suggest they were monuments to the dead. Others believe they were the work of the Rephaim, giant warrior kings turned divine ancestors. In that case, Og may not have been the last, just the last remembered. Even more mysterious is what lies in the Golan Heights. Hidden in a barren landscape and visible from ground level is a structure so massive, so precise, it wasn't even discovered until the 1960s. Aerial survey planes first revealed it. Gilgal Refaim, the Wheel of Giants. It's made up of 5 concentric circles of basalt stone, over 40,000 tons of it. From the sky, it forms a perfect bullseye over 500 feet in diameter. On the ground, it looks like a pile of rubble. At its center lies a tomb, empty, ancient, and unresolved. Some believe it was used for sky burials, where bodies were exposed to birds of prey. Others think it marked celestial events, though shifting land over thousands of years may have thrown off any precise alignment. And then there are those who say it was built by giants, or built for them. In Hebrew, the name Gilgal Refaim literally means Wheel of the Giants. In Arabic, it's known as Rujam al-Hiri, the stone heap of the wildcat. One sounds sacred, the other, forgotten. But no one has ever found tools, no homes, no inscriptions, just perfectly arranged stones set in place by hands we can't explain. And then there's Baalbek, a city where the mystery reaches a scale so large it defies reason. Located in Lebanon's Bekaa Valley, Baalbek was once called Heliopolis, the city of the sun, by the Romans. It housed one of the grandest temples to Jupiter in the empire, but beneath that Roman temple lies something far older. The foundation stones of Baalbek are among the largest ever quarried, 3 blocks known as the Trilithon, each weighing over 750 tons. They're stacked perfectly, forming the platform of a forgotten temple. And nearby, the mystery deepens. Half buried in a nearby quarry is the stone of the pregnant woman, a 1,000-ton behemoth. Beside it, the stone of the south, weighing 1,242 tons. And in 2014, an even larger block was found, the so-called Forgotten Stone, estimated at 1,650 tons, still fused to the earth, never moved. How were these stones cut? How were they transported? Even with modern equipment, moving such masses would be a challenge. Ancient Arab manuscripts claimed it was the work of Nimrod, great-grandson of Noah. After the Great Flood, he supposedly commanded giants to build a fortress for the sun god Baal. Modern scholars propose ramps, rollers, and ropes, armies of men working in perfect harmony. But even they admit there was no practical reason to use stones this massive. It was a message, written in weight, a warning to the gods, or a challenge. Look closely at the edges of those ancient stones. Are they the chisel marks of man, or the fingerprints of forgotten giants? From Ain Dara to Baalbek, from Gath to Gilgal Refaim, these sites defy the logic of their time. They ask questions we can't answer. Were these massive structures built to honor gods, or by something mistaken for them? Were the Nephilim just myth, or were they history buried in stone? Maybe the giants never walked the earth. Or maybe they walked right into legend and we forgot to follow. Let us know what you believe in the comments below, and if you're drawn to forbidden history, ancient secrets, and ruins that challenge everything we think we know. Subscribe to Forbidden Travel and join us as we uncover the world's most chilling and unsolved mysteries.